Welcome back to the channel, and
Welcome to Biomutant.
so in my last series of Breaking Skyrim, I've had over a decade of experience in breaking that game, adapting what they keep adding to the game to help break it. Not so much in this series. They made Biomutant free about 2 months ago, I want to say, and I only have one playthrough, but it was incredibly broken. So, what I'm going to do is show you exactly how that works by starting a whole new game. Mind you, that playthrough was on Extreme, so we're going to
Encode
do
your
that again.
DNA.
I ended up doing it with a FIP, but if you wanted to have a little more durability as you leveled up, go with the Rex. All this does is, decide what's going to level up naturally, but you're going to want FIP for the psionic
Define your
ability.
genetic structure.
I went full intellect, which is a 99. Yeah, sure, you're
Choose a
lacking in
genetic
everything else, but
resilience.
you can level it up as you go.
Choose your
Biohazard,
first
because that's where
style.
you're going to get the other ingredients to level up the rest of your resistances. Make them look however you want. I'm just
Pick your main.
trying to
Choose your Pick
get
a
through.
class. Command Psyfreak.
Again, you want to start with Psyfreak because there is a
Psyfreak
mechanic
chosen.
that is
Sounds
just
good.
game breaking. I found it here from the beginning, which is one of the reasons I
Here's
need to go
somebody
with
with
the
a
extreme
troubled
difficulty
past,
just to
drawn
demonstrate
into
that
the
mechanic.
spotlight of a story that's already
But
begun.
one of the other
We're
things that's
already
game
at the
breaking is when you
crossroads.
play in a Psyfreak,
Choosing a path in
you
life
have
is
the
that
ability
fork
to
in the road
heal
where you make a choice
off
or
of
simply stop living.
uh,
But for you, it's not only
Let me introduce. Seems more
off
in
of
your
your magical attacks, off of your psi attacks. So one of the best psi attacks to do that and just leech as well as do damage is on the light side. So get your light up to a 30. I would suggest as
right
fast as
is
possible.
always right.
But if you want everything, you got to do a little of the darkness too. So now we're just gonna get through the tutorial, which takes
Stories of
quite a
death
time,
from the bodies
but
left
that's the goal.
behind. A
Got
reminder
about an
that
hour.
we're at the
So
mercy of nature and the one that
there are some
preys
things that
on
I can skip.
others.
There are some that can't be skipped. So I'm gonna be skipping. Don't
Do
have the
you
narration
remember the
turned down,
beast that
but
shattered your family? Or did you
sorry if I'm
choose
having to
forget?
talk over him.
You turned your back on our world and got
I'll probably
lost in your
turn
own.
it down at some time, but
Meanwhile,
right
the
now,
predator only grew stronger.
um, if you don't like the starting weapon type, which as you can see is equipped as the Spark Fist, then you can change it up later to something that works a lot better. I ended up on a two-handed slash. But just do everything the tutorial's telling you. So, Panther Sweep. Parry. Which is crucial. The parry is totally crucial to this mechanic of the game. If you're not good at it, and I hate to say the classic phrase, but get good, scrub. Um, it's just factual that this mechanic, even though it's game breaking, you do have to earn it because you got to be able to
Better
do
make a run for it. This is not
the
time
combination
or
to
place
get it to pull
end
off.
this story.
So, I'll explain here in the tutorial. I found it in the tutorial. Just because the Spark Fists and the Fist weapons don't do much damage at all, can't be upgraded. They're kinda low class, if you ask me. But this mechanic that comes with it is super high class. I was looking for a way to increase its damage because one of the skills with the unarmed is the more hits that you can consecutively land, the more your damage increases. It kind of evens things out. So I was just looking for a way for it to work that way and
This
continue
time,
combos.
it was best to run and
And
live
this
to
is the
fight
way that
another
I
day.
found out how to do.
Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes.
So run from the bomb. Alright, so first thing I'm going to suggest that you do, go into your character. Will it even let me switch it? No, not yet. Okay, so you have to unlock that system. But as you can see, as you hold down your left trigger L2, then you get a spark ball. which is, you know, classic, just lock onto them and throw the spark ball. That's what the Psy Freak's meant to
The
do, is be
predator
a
isn't the
caster
only
from
threat.
afar.
The
But we're gonna
wildlife
turn into a Kung
started
Fu
to
caster,
mutate when the end of days began, and
and
the
that's how
tree
that
of life
works.
started to die.
So what you're first gonna do, yada yada yada, tutorial stuff you can read. You're gonna tick somebody off, and whenever you're gonna have to go for a counter, so get your counter, and then you want to get, oh, missed him. I'm gonna die. There it is. Once you get them in the air, anytime during the combo while they're in the air, which you can do it also with the guns, but it allows you an infinite combo. Infinite combo, yeah, that's what I meant to say. Sorry, I'm trying to focus and not die here. Now, where it gets game breaking is, and of course, this is the traditional style, just stand back and go with shotgun, but you run out of your stamina pretty quick that way. Your ki goes down way too fast doing that. So, with this method instead, you can infinitely keep them in the air. That's the goal. Mind you, I'm rusty. I haven't been playing this. They made Fallout 76 free, and I would love to show you how to break that, but so many videos on leveling up fast and whatnot. When it comes to MMOs, as long as you have friends, it's already broken. But modules for your guns can be useful, but personally, I don't use them, or, you know, I end up selling them, actually. It's always good getting some of that green leafy stuff. Medical supplies. Now, mind you, you can see my health is slowly regenerating. It won't do that in battle without certain skills, but as long as you're out of battle, you'll regen health. Now, they want you to go up the chain first, do a little exploring instead, and you'll find what they call a flush stool. So now there's a new muzzle for one of your weapons. You got to get a little farther in the game before you can even use it. I was hoping for a piece of equipment, because I can, you know, put that on right about now. But it all works. Now, when it comes
The oil
to
sludge is everywhere. For
bigger
most,
opponents
it
that
only
you can't
means
put
death,
into this combo,
but
that's
some
where you have to rely
adapted
on
to
your
the
good
new
old-fashioned. Oh,
environment
I
and
missed.
changed with
That's
it.
when you gotta rely on your good
Evolution has its
old-fashioned,
ways.
you know, stay back and. Oh. But as you can see, big guy really doesn't know what to do.
That feels better.
As long as you're in the air, he kind of freaks out and doesn't know what to do. Even if you don't land the air attack itself, the stun is worth it. I really am rusty. I don't have any more healing items. Oh, can you lock on, please? Thank you. So, yeah. Even though they're incredibly powerful, it just takes a second for you to equip the modules. That's why I don't like doing it. I will take whatever it is you got. Which, another reason I told you about the healing is keep it in mind, because I just picked up a bunch of healing items. So I could use them and get the HP back right now, but why when I'm auto-healing? You know, just take your time, don't run past things. Or,
Ready to dive back in.
if you need it. Oh. So, again, I'm not meaning to do that whenever I shoot the gun. That's how I originally found it, was you can do it with the gun. But it flows a lot better when it comes to using the spells. And you can make the spells do such good damage. Ow. Ow again. Lock on, please. Thank you. whenever you run out of stamina, use the gun as a backup. I prefer the dual pistols just because of their special attacks, their Wung Fu or whatever it is they call it. Now, mind you, there's not much to scavenge and pick up in the area. That's why I'm just running through. But if you wanted to take a little bit of time before you got into the next fight, let your health regen, you can. Enemies with shields, you can't get through with most ranged attacks. Which is one of the reasons. Oh. Take that out. And then he's open for your ranged variety of attacks. Again, if you don't like playing range, that's fine. Most of the time you want to stay somewhat ranged just because yeah, most of the time you want to stay ranged just because it's a better option when it comes to, you know, bigger enemies and whatnot. And eventually that'll end up healing you as well. It's totally broken. You just got to make sure that you buy the skill when you get to the level. But it's up in the, I think, 20s or something like that. So one of the first things you're going to come up here on... Ooh, gained a level. So this is, you know, pretty self-explanatory. We're going to go with intellect pretty much all the way just to get it out of the way. So don't worry about if you spent your points wrong. Eventually you're going to have more points than you're going to know what to do with and everything to be able to do fitting comfortably.
An emergency box
but
from
grab
the
your
once
claw
was.
bar.
Rare sight.
So two things that you're going to need exploratorially in the world, one of them being the claw bar we just got, and eventually we're going to go get the clonk fist so that you can open doors and break down weak walls. One of the first things you're going to do is find the quests to upgrade those. And you're going to make them priority over everything else. That will break the game because it'll give you the capability to explore more of the map and not miss so much loot.
No, really, I mean it.
So, continuing on, do a double jump. Don't get stuck in the tar because you will just sink. You can't jump out, nothing like that. Now these creatures, like I was talking about how biohazard zones are going to be upgraded, upgrade your resistances. These are the things that drop the ingredient. So, but they're kind of tough. So,
including you.
Yeah, my controller's a little janky, so the R2 goes off occasionally. But you can see how I'm able to keep this thing in the air almost infinitely, leaving his friends unable to do anything. It's all about timing. It's about that triple punch. Once the triple punch is over is when I throw the spark ball. Because when you're trying to do it with the gun, you launch up into the air and go into that mode, and you can match the same height, but doing it this way, you're actually able to either continuously go up or keep them at a level plane. So a lot of bigger dudes won't know what to do as you pick off the small guys. A lot of ranged guys will miss, but I usually prefer to take out the ranged guys first. Alright, so we're gonna come over here and skirt the room, use the ruins and whatnot. So you have a double jump, a wall jump that you can access now. Got some loot. It's a stock if you want to make a rifle, which rifles are good, but not my bag.
On a leash.
But as you can see with that combo, if you can, you know, execute it properly, and just juggle. It's cheaper than, you know, Mortal Kombat 2. So, good times.
Toxanol built vessels called
Check
arcs
that
to
out.
save themselves from the
You
impending
can listen
doom.
to the whole thing if you want. Same with this, but rotation puzzles are pretty easy. You're just trying to line things up in as little moves as possible. But as
Just a few
we
moves
pump
left.
everything into intelligence, those moves are going to jump far beyond what you need. You'll be able to tinker with
There are
everything
few
there.
records of
Yeah.
the chain of events that
And then we're
led
gonna
to
run
the
into
bigger
another one.
problem.
Here's some spark metal going pew pew.
It's going to
So
take a bit of
same
puzzling to
concept.
short-circuit the door.
Just want to line up the colors to the colors. And eventually there'll be more knobs and colors and the puzzles
There
get a
you
little
go.
more intricate. But now we're gonna come in here. We're gonna save out a date.
The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out.
So handle this however, you know. Most of them are gonna focus on out of date and he has very thick plot armor. But eventually what I like to do, because I'm having to switch from the square button to triangle when I've got them caught in the combo. Eventually I will switch that to square. Ooh, he blocked me.
You have a good eye for that stuff.
Now the one thing that's good about electricity damage is once you build up enough of it, they end up getting electrocuted in place. Which just leaves them open for more attack. It's not the best additive, but it's a good one. But one of the main reasons you want to interrupt the combo is because you'll cut off in how infinite it is. The combo ends with a ground pound and you're just trying to cut it off before the ground pound happens.
That's the last of them.
And once you can
Let's
interrupt
talk to
it
the wheeled one before
with
battle.
your spell or your gun or whatever you feel comfortable with, continue to attack. It's pretty simple, really cheap. You know, make sure that you check the bodies for any additives, any scrap they dropped, and now it's just a whole bunch of expulsion, some yada yada, some yakety smackety, but that's the base mechanic of how to break this game. When it
He
comes
wants
to
thank you.
your bigger, badder enemies, rely on your spells.
Had it not
We'll
been
go over what spells to get in the next one, but this video's pretty much going to take up the whole thing, because, you know, there's flashbacks and, you know, how conversation works and whatnot. Because your conversational choices, they lead to either you being a light person or a dark person. Dark, you do, you know, more evil things. But it has some spells. I personally don't like most of the dark spells.
asks if you were tired.
A
as
lot of
it's
them are
bit of a hike
situational
here from the
in
village.
how good
He
they go.
wonders if you...
My first playthrough, I went completely light. Any dark that I got was just by accident. Bad choices that I made, not paying attention. But honestly, the light spells are the ones that are completely broken. I like to stay electricity because, again, the spark thing allows, once it builds up, it allows you to get in some extra hits. You know, stunning the enemies.
You'll need
But once you get to the point... Oh, come on. Gotta wait for him to stop or fall over. There we go. Come here. Come on. And you gotta get right on top of him. I forgot about that. But, yeah, once you get it to where you do damage, or the damage done heals you, it's just too cheap. Especially with the right combination of skills. You can enter a group, take no damage, just waste your key on what damage taken, and pretty much fry everybody.
He says you...
So, continuing on. Now, all those choices there, that will affect people throughout the game saying, how
lost
you
you
were
there
as a
for a
kid,
while,
if you were good or
but
bad,
no
and,
memory is alone.
they'll implore you either to
He
keep it
says
up
he
being,
remembers every single
or, you can change the
the
way you
trees
are.
started to die when the
But again,
the
I
genetic
personally like playing
evolution that
games
occurred
as the good
after
guy
the
most of the time. It
apocalypse.
gets you more
His friend
rewards, but
Gizmo is working on
sometimes a bad
Lepton and
playthrough is
needs
fun.
help defeating the
Um,
jumbo puff at the end of the
So
West
right
Route.
now they're explaining all the different world eaters, which is just four
Wiz is
big
still
bosses,
repairing his
but
octopod to
everybody needs
confront
you
the
to help them
Merpuff that
with something
dwells
to
deep
get to
down
them
under
or
the
battle them.
surface at the end of the Northwest Route.
But all of them are, good unlocks to have.
Nocco has tamed the midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the
Now the
southeast.
Goo Glide is going to be one of the most essential
Out of
ones,
date,
just
said
because
he.
swimming in this game is
The
not fun. Very easy to drown. You run out of
Regardless, you'll meet
key as
again
you
once
start doing it, then it's all over. So now that you have a net to catch critters across the world,
you're getting the hang
Is-
of it.
claw bar again. So eventually, as you're going along, like I was just explaining with the
Quickest
claw
way
bar
out is
and the
through
clonk
roof
fist,
where they
being
came
able
in,
to open up
and
hidden
the rope looks
areas.
strong enough to climb.
Eventually you're going to run up against one that it is not strong enough to do, but the game will instantly point out for you people to go upgrade them. Again, that's where they become priority. Whatever you were doing, put it on pause, back burner that, and we'll go on to
Know that the
upgrading
tree of
those.
life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and
I know.
assault from the world eaters.
Not the assault from the world eaters. So, there are clans in the game, which we're moving into now. I'm not entirely sure how long I have before the video cuts off. I'm working with limited stuff. But the next thing they're gonna do is have you choose a clan from 2 of the starter clans.
It out for the
So pretty much
cartographical
3 of the clans are pretty bad, 3 of them are pretty good. It's just a
Let's
matter of
see.
who wants to accomplish what. Do they want to let the world eaters take the tree? Do they want to let the world eaters save the tree? Whatever. So now we're explaining signposts. You walk up, you mark it. Now you have a waypoint you can fast travel to. So make sure you mark every single one. Just a suggestion. It's really good for fast travel. Here's one of the world leaders they were talking about. You can see how they're a destructive force of nature.
That must be the world eater that chewed off Out of Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down.
Now again, I like having the announcer. If you want to turn him down, it is an option. But we're gonna come
Look,
up here,
a survivor.
talk
Glad
with the
to see
survivor.
some.
So this is again more inner balance stuff. You're gonna find survivors all over the map. You can either choose to treat them good, treat them bad. However, it gives you light or
Anyway,
dark to
he
go
needs
towards
help
what you
and
unlock.
says
So
it's
I'm gonna ask you to help.
That's a spot.
I like the light.
As much as it always making. And you're.
Now, if you choose, one half and then change your mind, you don't get as much, but it doesn't give you any on the other side. I'm just rushing light because I want to get it to 30. Now we have some side points. More out-of-date stuff.
Regardless
So
of who
now
you
he's
choose, it
explaining
won't
the
be
clans.
easy. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans
Now with the
rose
clans,
from the
you
depths
can
of
get
the surf.
unique
Siding with the
armors if
Myriad's
you
movement
side with
for
them,
wholeness
but
in
you
a
can get
fragmented
everybody's
world
weapon from the
might
clan
seem
war.
like the
You can
logical
also
thing to
end the
do,
clan war early
but
if
is
you're
it
not
the
interested
right
in that.
thing? One
So
thing's
beware of
certain,
that. If you
destiny
haven't picked up a
arrives
weapon that
all
you
the same.
want to use yet, and they say we can end the war now, don't do it.
The
But
Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction.
Jagni
to
tribe
bring
is more about
balance to the
domination.
world by wiping out the weak. They believe a
Myriad's more about
cleansing is
unification.
necessary to restore the world, and want to let the world
Personally, I
eaters
like the
bring
one
down the
that is
Tree of
about
Life. But siding
isolation.
with
You know, keep the
Jackie isn't
clans running their
necessarily a
own
bad
stuff,
thing.
but have them run under
Fate
one
will
banner.
find a way.
So, it's all up to you, however you want to choose. So, more mumbo jumbo. And now quest tracking, you know, your journal's unlocked. So right now you've got uh, the Tree of Life and everything, so, well, no side quests, nothing like that. So, uh, defeating the World Eaters, you can go straight for that if you want to, but they really do push the Tribal War, so it'd just be easier for you to pick one now. I'm going to go with the Myriad because, again, I'm light aligned, I'm not bad aligned.
Another fork in the road.
You also
It's
need to
either the
be
tunnel or the
light
motor
or
bridge.
dark enough
What'll it
aligned
be?
for certain clans to accept you. So again, since I've been running for light because I want those psi skills unlocked on the light side, we're going with Myriad. We go into the character, you see a bunch of things are now unlocked. You now have the Wong Fu, so you can start doing your close combat and ranged whatnot. I'm going to keep doing unarmed for a bit. Um, I prefer two-handed slash. It's your biggest bang for your buck and doesn't require many stats. Ranged combat, I dual wield guns. I'll eventually get to that. But just basic gun is good too because the gun's just a filler while your key recharges for your spells. Eventually you won't even need the gun. Um, there's or explaining your light and your dark. Again, I'm running light. When it comes to mutations, Mothmouth is one of the best to get off the bat. Bile, um, it's straight down attack, even if you're on your feet. It's not the best. Fungi is good for exploration, but the ones that I get, I'm going to start with Mothmouth. Very good to even the odds because you can make everybody stop focusing on you and it gives you time to work on things. So I put that on triangle. It allows, you know, everybody else will attack anything close to them and then you can zone in on one person, usually take them down before the Mothmouth wears off and then do it again. I'll grab Fungi for exploration, just because that bounce up allows you to get to places. I don't really use it for enemies. Um, but the Rad Wisps, overpowered, too good because you can just run around and let them home in on things. And then the Mucus Bubble, overpowered, because again you can use it to get to places, kind of. It's a good double jump kind of a, but as the demonstration shows, you can get enemies to stick to you and then you can throw them, or have them get hit by the other spells going off. Um, don't really use anything else when it comes to biogenetics. When it comes to psi powers, again, I run the Spark Ball. I like to run it on square, that way you just have to tap your L2 to interrupt your combo while you're doing the infinite juggle. Don't use Blaze or Blink, personally. Everyone else likes to use them because they're a really good mobility skill, but they just cost too much, and I dodge, which is already spending the key. Freeze is good whenever you get the skill to heal yourself because it is an AoE, it can hit everybody, and everybody will heal you, but it just costs a lot. Levitate's not going to be necessary once we get certain pieces of equipment. Um, Telekinesis is dark, so I don't bother, but Key Spark is what you're really going to need. As you can see, you turn yourself into a Sith from Star Wars and just shock everybody. But with that being a constant, you can run your Mucus Bubble, your Key Spark, and your Rad Wisps all at the same time, even though it's hyper draining to your stem or your key. Once you're spec'd out to have a lot of key and a lot of regen, it won't matter because you'll just roll everybody up into the ball of mucus, be shocking them while they're attached to you and not attacking, and throwing out Rad Wisps, which come back to hit them as well. Super broken. I will demonstrate that when we get there. But for now, that's pretty much all you need. And as you can see, upgrade resistance. Go ahead and throw into Biohazard, make that one the one you want to look for, because then we can do the rest of them as well from Biohazard zones. So, yeah, that's the base there. As far as gear is concerned, right now we don't have Jack. some consumables and whatnot. We haven't gotten anything armor-wise or weapon-wise. But moving on, again, beware of swimming. If it's in too deep, it'll start taking your key. And that was one of the
It's
reasons I wanted to do a
unusual that
key-based
natural
build,
tunnels
is
like
because I
this
thought
still
I'd be able to
exist.
swim.
Most of
No,
them got flooded.
you need the Goo Glide or one of the companions. I can't remember exactly what they called it. It's some horrid mess. This is the tribe war going on. You will run into these kinds of things all the time. If you want to, you can actually take everybody out because you're not aligned and gain the experience, but I'm gonna not waste some time with that. If you ever
This
run
area was
into trenches
beautiful
like
before the
this,
tribe war
take the
began.
time to
Look at
run
it
the
now. It's a
trenches,
war zone.
or take the time to jump up here on the mounds, because all those little doorways, that little, pocket you saw me get in there, the little bunker, um, sometimes they will have equipment.
Seems sturdy
Oh
enough.
my goodness, no, go up. I don't know why my camera freaked out. But at a low level, you just want to grab everything you can. That was an add-on for something else. But while you're up here, you're just looking for little bunkers. You'll see these doorways. Another add-on and a small health pack. Not really looking for anything in particular. You're just trying to find anything and everything that can, be equipped or turned into scrap. Sometimes there will be bio containers that can be scrapped.
Beats hunting down
Good
scrap.
plastic. I think that was it. There might be one more. Yeah, there's one more. But every round of bunkers will have something like this, or every round of trenches will have something like this. And then we're going to continue on the Myriad tribe. The Myriad tribe's going to have you attack the Jagni tribe and vice versa. You're just going to try and take out some outposts. But I'm probably going to cut off the video here as we arrive at the Magni Stronghold, just for
That's
time
the
constraints.
Myriad
But I
tribe's
wanted to just
fortress.
demonstrate how
Will they be
right out the
friends
gate,
or foes?
as long as you can
should
get
head
that
up
one
there.
combo
That
off,
way you'll know.
battle's not so bad. Let's go ahead and get this marked. But yeah, that's the beginning
Let's
of us
see.
breaking Biomutant. Honestly, I pretty much explained everything away. Make it to where you can explore everywhere with the claw bar and the clonk fist. Keep up your infinite combo. Be specific with your spells of the Moth Mouth, which I'll demonstrate in the next video. The Mucus Bubble, which that'll take some time to get. The Key Spark, which will take the longest time to get. The Spark Ball, which we can exploit now from the beginning. And then the Rad Wisps. So, yeah, eventually whenever you get your trio of the Key Spark, Mucus Bubble, and Rad Wisps, you get rid of the Bile, keep the Shock Ball just for a ranged option, or you can get rid of that. It just really depends on your preference. Just out of those 5 magical psi abilities, those are the ones you want to hunt for. So, yeah, we'll pick this up at the beginning of the Tribe War in the next video. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.